Hey guys, welcome back. So we just got done, we got back to the shop today and we went ahead and cut this side. So before, since we put this panel on here, we didn't have a mark and we had to put the whole car back together down on its wheels, get the suspension loaded, and then mark that last little bit of a curve. But we did that and we got it cut and it went well, just like the other side. It pretty much looks the same. So straight up and then hoops over. And just like the other side, we got all this metal left over. This sucks to cut. I was using a Dremel and it takes forever, but you know, we got that. We got a plan moving forward though. We bought another tool, like we don't have enough. Introducing Mr. Plasma Cutter. So I haven't turned it on yet to see if it works, but this was like a middle of the road $400 or $500 setup from Amazon. But it's got a Pilot Arc plasma cutter, so I don't know, it seems to be of benefit. But it's got the air regulator built on. It actually has a water separator in the back. Looks like an auto draining one. This little thing moves. So I think we're going to go buy a water separator and hook it to our air compressor just to help it out. And then the other issue we ran into was the plug. So this thing has one of these like 220 twist lock plugs, and I have this extension cord that has like 3-phase and fits this kind of plug. So I basically made an extension cord. Kind of got lucky. I forgot I had this wire and I just went and bought the plugs and put it together. And naturally I have to use one of these on the welder, but the one that the welder has is different too. So now I got like 3 different 220 plugs in my shop. Actually 4. Anyway, tangent aside, got our plasma cutter hooked up. The air hose will probably connect. I should probably check that. But we're gonna do some test cuts just to make sure the plasma cutter works. And I don't really have much. I've used one of these once ever in my life. So we're gonna do some practice cuts, make sure we got a handle on it, and then we'll get to cutting. So on this fender, you can see we kind of marked all the spots we were intending to cut. And that's more or less what we're gonna do, I think. It's possible that if you cut this like right here, like where my finger is, and then cut that bracing out, which would be difficult, that you could roll that metal up. That could be of benefit. But I don't know if we can really do that. And it's curved, so what's probably going to happen is it needs to stretch, and then it's not going to want to do that. So we're probably just going to cut everything we can and get that out of there, and then worry about putting something back after the old stuff's cut. And basically it's going to be the same story on the other side. And the one, yeah, it's basically the same. The one problem we have, this got even worse again. It's actually pretty obvious here in this photo. You can really see there's a giant step here. So when I cut this corner out, apparently this whole panel was under so much stress that this whole thing just moved. So at this point, I gotta figure something out, but we gotta hammer this better than it is. So I'm probably gonna have to buy some tools. Yeah, you can see right there, it just takes a zigzag. So we're gonna have to get like a, I believe that I need a hammer and dolly. I don't actually know if that's what it is, but my buddy was just telling me that, so I'm gonna look into it and try to buy whatever the right thing is and see if we can't knock this back closer to where it's supposed to be, because that's gonna take a lot of filler to fix. I don't want that. So we're gonna try to improve that. And we're going to get on with these fender wells. We got to get all this crap cut out because we're close to being able to put the big tires on and actually set the car down and see what it's going to look like. We know that we're going to have to put something back here. You can kind of... Oh, there's no good way to get the camera in here, unfortunately. Let me try this. Yeah, it doesn't really work either. But this curved surface here, we're probably going to be cutting it like right here, and we're going to need a straight piece that goes all the way out and catches that fender lip. Something like that. So we got to figure it out, but you know what? We're going to cut this old stuff out first, then we'll figure it out. Good news is, okay, bad news, we're going to be welding upside down inside a fender well. That sucks. Good news is, we can MIG weld this, and it doesn't have to be perfect. This stuff's basically out of sight, and we can paint it and spray whatever this junk is, so it really just needs to structurally be there, and then that's about it. So we're not super worried about that. That'll get halfway hacked together. So all good. That's our plan. We're gonna jump back on this, test our plasma, and then start cutting this stuff. Okay, so we just tried out our plasma cutter, and it works. This little thing, I mean, look at the size of my hand. It's not that big of a machine, but it does 50 amps, and it works. So we took, that's that panel we cut off to replace. So we chopped it off with our plasma. You can see what it did. I cut that other little speck, but man, it cuts quick on this thin stuff. So then we brought it over to the car. As you can see, those two pieces that are laying there, they're gone. And it works pretty good. The only, and I kind of knew this, but I'll show you real quick. The one problem, the head of this is not like a pencil. It's kind of fat. So what happens is, like, see that black line? So if I back up, I painted a line in there, and I was like, okay, let's say I wanted to cut that. Well, it's kind of hard to get in here. And like in this exact spot, I can actually do it, but I'm angled because I can't get square, because if I come in square, I'll be too low. And that's kind of a problem. You can't get it in there, and it doesn't, the flame only comes out so far. So if you get this too far away, it doesn't really work like it's supposed to. So like that cut, that line way back there, I can't do it. Now I could do this, but like I'm just not doing that. That's just sounds like a bad idea. Spray molten metal vertical. We're not going to do that. So we did that. We cut that piece out, and holy crap, it's fast. I'm already glad I bought this. So what we're going to do, you can see I marked this line. We're going to cut that out with an angle grinder. Before, that was difficult to do, but now that this edge is gone, I can actually see this pretty easily. So I'm just going to go in here with like a 4.5-inch angle grinder. Could use the Dremel, but I don't think we need to. We're going to use the big angle grinder with a cutoff wheel. It should just walk right through that. We might Dremel this spot so we don't run into the sheet metal. We're going to chop that piece out, and then I'm going to come in and cut like this here. See where this line is? I'm going to do that on the back side, like here, and that'll cut this piece out. I'm going to do the same thing over there, and then hopefully that leaves us access to this, and we can try to get in here and somehow get rid of this piece, because we need to cut that out to get this curved sheet metal right here out of the way. So anyway, we're kind of having to do it in pieces because the way they built the car, it looks like they built it vertically. So like this is one of the first things that went in, and then all these pieces on top, and there's pieces behind this, and then pieces on top of that. So can't really get in there to cut what we want, but that's okay. We're scrapping all these pieces that are coming out, so if they want to come out in pieces, that's fine. I guess the last thing worth noting, but you can tell I covered up all the hoses and expensive bits. So I just took some rags and a bucket and just soaked them with water and covered them, and you can see it's left a big puddle of water, but good news is we did not light the car on fire. This we did have some body filler here that tried to burn. Well, it did burn, but we extinguished it pretty quick. Fucking Mazda's paint's pretty durable. They had fire going right here, and paint's basically fine. Anyway, we'll keep going, but I've waited a long time to get a plasma cutter, and I can definitely tell that that's going to come in useful in the future. Right now, yeah, it's helping a little, but man, in the future when we got to rough stuff and just get things close, man, that's easy. That's the definition of easy mode. Check it out. We just cut a lot of metal off this passenger side corner. And look at this. Dun, dun, dun. There's only one spot right here at the very top, which I never noticed this until now, but apparently Mazda put a little flat section right here. That kind of sucks. It's going to eat into our tire clearance, and I guess you could fix it, but there's more sheet metal under there. That's going to be a lot harder to fix. So I don't know about that. That might be hit it with a hammer and hope that that works, or just leave it and hope that that works. I got a feeling hope's not going to work though. It looks like we're going to lose at least 1/2 inch. So I guess we'll see when we get the tires on, but to me it looks like we're probably going to lose 1/2 inch. We're going to have a 1/2 inch clearance here. And if that's true, this isn't going to work. Or I don't think it's going to work. Now this is thin. I don't know. We'll see. But you can see, here's the skin of the car. As you go up in here, here's like another piece that braces something, and then behind that there's yet another. That one you're looking at right there, that looks all wrinkled. It's interesting that that's wrinkled. Huh. Not sure if that's supposed to be that way. But it is. I didn't think my car was that fast. But, anyway, I think this is good progress. At least all of this work, since it's inside the fender well, we can use a real tool instead of a damn Dremel. So this thing just totally eats, you know, about 50 times faster than a Dremel. So this actually didn't take that long. So take a short break, think about this, and then we're probably going to move to the, I might clean up a couple spots. I see something right here. You know, I can hammer that. But anyway, we'll figure out if this is all we're going to do for cutting here, and then we're going to move to the other side and replicate, because we haven't done that side yet. Okay, so we did decide to go ahead and clean this up a little bit. We had cut it out earlier. So this time we went in here and actually, there's still a few burrs here and there, but I mean, we pretty much got like, all these edges are pretty clean, kind of deburred. And then we took a hammer and we pushed this edge in a little bit. And then this edge, if you look out here, so it looks nice and clean. Well, this metal was hanging out. So this whole area, we basically hammered that in so that it's underneath this, which we had planned to do. But we did that, and we looked at this some more, and I got a feeling this little flat top is going to have to go. And what sucks, it's not the end of the world, but taking this out, we're going to have to like cut probably like from here to this way, and then across the back, and then here, and then we're just going to have to like nibble this thing out of there, because like here, I'll be able to cut this little square out, but then I'm going to run into this piece here, and I'm sure eventually you'll be able to cut this out of here, but it's going to suck. I can tell you that right now, because it's just like a little maze of things to get in there. But I got a feeling we're going to have to, because we're going to lose, I measured, this is just barely over ½ an inch of clearance that we're going to lose. So that's pretty important. We're only, by design, the way we did this arch, we're only going to have 1 inch of clearance all the way around. So basically, when you put the tire on and you set the car down, 1 inch gap that goes like this all the way around. And it centers the tire in the new fender well, which is a nice bonus. Want to do that forever. But, yeah, I think we're going to have to do that. But not today. We're tired. We're going to call it a night. This will be a project for future Pat. But we will keep on going. We didn't do the other side yet. Again, do it tomorrow. But I feel good. This was good progress on between using the angle grinder and the new plasma cutter. So we should be able to get this going tomorrow. All right, y'all take it easy.